arguably the defining feature of the Utah Valley. As the water from the lake evaporates, the salt minerals are left behind, causing the high density of salt in the water. With no outlets, the lake creates a reservoir, holding water and providing for the ecosystem around it. This lake has acted as the heart, providing life to the entire valley.
Waterfowling, which is duck and goose hunting, it brings in millions of dollars into our economy each year. There's some duck clubs that own lands along the wetlands along the south shore and the north shore of the Great Salt Lake. They're huge protectors of wetlands and water. That's huge for our economy, it's huge for the lake and our wetlands. The conservation groups that are really working towards it, economically speaking, you got brine shrimpers that need water. And without the proper salinity in that water, water in the Great Salt Lake is one thing, but the correct water, the water that the organisms in this ecosystem have evolved to need, has to stay like this.
That heart is fading. Water levels continue to drop to record lows, salinity levels increase, and salt minerals continue to be stripped from the depths of the lake. While droughts are influencing the natural income of water, the excessive use of this vital resource is the underlying cause for the decreasing water levels.
Well, there's not that many terminal lakes in the world, and the ones that are threatened with the same kind of threats that we see here at the Great Salt Lake. Growing populations, diversions for mostly agriculture and industrial use have destroyed many of the terminal lakes in the world. The Great Salt Lake, at this rate, is on the same course if we continue to divert the water and use it for our increasing population, increasing industrial use, and of course agriculture. There really is no way out for this lake unless we make changes. Spanish Fork all the way to Brigham City and beyond, every little canyon has been piped. It's got a pool, a reservoir at the bottom of it, in the tanks. Every time you go on a hike up in these hills, you're going across pipes. Every bit of water is being pulled out of there.
A lack of water rights are preventing the Great Salt Lake from a consistent flow of water. Every bit of water is being stolen before it ever reaches the lake.
We have a certain amount of water coming down out of these mountains, and it's being diverted out, and without specific rules or regulations allowing water to reach the lake, it's not going to reach the lake. There is no law or rule or anything that says the Great Salt Lake gets to have water. As a matter of fact, in Utah, the Great Salt Lake is specifically called out as not having a beneficial use, which doesn't allow it to hold a water right, which means you legally can't even send water to the Great Salt Lake unless it's already been used before for beneficial use.
As it stands, the importance of water rights is the deciding factor in the future of the lake. Without any action, the lake will just continue to wither away.
The average person can become involved with organizations like Friends of Great Salt Lake, who advocate for the lake. We work with the legislature, we work with kids, we work with the arts for awareness of it. These are all big because if our population and our public doesn't realize the importance of it, it won't get that important. Nothing will happen. It'll go away. They can be involved with other organizations, conservation organizations that are working to help preserve and protect. Last but not least is become involved a little bit politically with maybe reach out to your local legislator and say, the lake is important to me. Even that small gesture is huge.
The current outlook for the Great Salt Lake is dire. It is up to people to make a difference, to change the fate of this vital landscape. It is not too late to stop the death of the Great Salt Lake.